Welcome to the show, Croc Talk with Chris Croc. We got a lot of stuff. First of all, Friday I was at the Epic City Mosque meeting, which was at Epic Mosque, East Plano Islamic Center. I toured the entire neighborhood. No, not the entire neighborhood. I toured the neighborhood, and there was no assimilation going on. I have a lot to tell you about what went on at that meeting, what I learned, and what the full story is. In addition to that, we have some breaking news tonight, supposedly. And I'm very skeptical, but supposedly the Islamic city in Kaufman County may have been stopped. I'm skeptical. I'll tell you why. I'll give you the latest on that. Also, we've got the airport shutdowns. We've got illegals being arrested in the airport. We have an illegal who's accused of murdering a sweet young freshman in high school in Chicago and Loyola. We have an unbelievable explanation from crazy leftist people that are aldermen in Chicago. You're just not going to believe. But then also in Dallas, we have the Rainbow Crosswalk and the Black Lives Matter crosswalks all being eliminated, and people are crying, screaming, and saying all sorts of things. It's a lot of fun, actually, to watch these people. So I got a lot of stuff to get into. First things first, though, this show is brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, IRSprob.com, and helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. There's only one way to go. That's IRSprob.com, my CPA for over 9 years. So, also want to mention I will be on the air tomorrow morning in San Antonio at KTSA. If you want to listen, 10 a.m. in for Jack Riccardi. But let's get right into this. I toured the Islamic neighborhood. I was at the Epic City Mosque for the Epic City hearing in East Plano Islamic Center. And wow. I'm going to show you some pictures. Let me just tell you this. Here's the mosque. Here's the mosque. And I took that picture myself. And also I'm going to show you different pictures of the people that we went to at the meeting. Here were some of the folks that showed up and said, where is the meeting? Why is it canceled? The meeting was in that place on the right there. This is all on Epic Mosque, East Plano Islamic Center's mosque property. And it was supposed to be at that little building on the right. We were all starting to disperse, meeting up, talking. Then came Savannah Hernandez from Turning Point USA. There she is. She interviewed me. I have not seen anything come out yet, but she was there. She interviewed me and a whole bunch of other people. Now, I'm going to show you the city, too. I'm going to give you a quick tour of I'm sorry, not the city, but the neighborhood. Here is one of the houses in the immediate neighborhood. It seems to be 100% Islamic. It appears that Epic Mosque has seemingly taken over the entire community around the mosque. I just took random pictures. I drove around and looked at houses in 2 blocks on one side, and it was all Islamic houses with Islamic decorations. Here the Islamic folks are walking from or to the mosque. Here is a restaurant. There's a whole bunch of these you're going to see that are in seemingly Islamic malls, right by the Epic Plano Mosque. There you have Islamic writing for a Karachi, Pakistan barbecue place. Then we have over here what's called Epic Market, East Plano Islamic Center Market. You've got the Arabic writing on the upper right-hand side. I zoom in a little bit here. There's the halal, certified halal. This is another Muslim home that surrounds the mosque with Muslim signs on there and such to show that everywhere you go in that whole area there's somebody there's many of these happy Eid al-Fitr, I think is how it's pronounced, Islamic holiday. Signs like that were up all over these neighborhoods surrounding the mosque. So here's where I can tell you this. There's no assimilation. There's absolutely no assimilation going on. Oh my gosh, at the mosque itself, there's a section for, and I'm quoting Savannah Hernandez, I think it was, who said they let her into the mosque. There was a section for single women in one area. It's like a women or single women. They have separate different entrances for people. And it really is true that Islam treats women like cattle. My daughter had over one of her friends on Friday night who worked at a a Muslim market of some kind. And she said that absolutely she, as a young woman, was treated like cattle. She was 15, 16, 17. She said absolutely they treat women like cattle. And she saw it day in and day out and how she was treated. There was no assimilating going on. Another big question is this. Why is this mosque trying to build a city? Why is this mosque right here, East Plano Islamic Center, why are they trying to build a city right now? Why would a mosque want to build a city? And can you imagine what would happen if a Christian church like perhaps yours or mine said, we're going to build a Christian city. We're going to have, and our church is building a freaking city. And we're going to have a church at the center of the development. We're going to have Christian schools at the center of it. We're going to have all the materials we put out and try to recruit people to buy into it, buy a house there. We're going to say it's a Christian-centered or Christian community. And then when we get caught doing it, we'll say, oh, no, it's not. That's not true. And we change the materials. We rebrand the name of the Christian city, and we call it the Meadows, like East Plano Islamic Center did from Epic City, which means this mosque is building a city. This is Epic City. That's the East Plano Islamic Center, and that mosque is building a city. Why? Why does a mosque want to build a city? Why does a mosque want to build a city? They're going to make a freaking no-go zone eventually, is my belief. Just like you see in neighborhoods in Great Britain, Germany, France, and we should fight them in any way, shape, or form, lawfully, legally, and peacefully. So I went to the mosque and toured the neighborhood, no assimilation whatsoever, and the meeting was canceled. Why was the meeting canceled? They were supposed to have a meeting for the R Municipal Utility District, or MUD. The Municipal Utility District, how it works in Texas, and I'm probably going to bastardize this, but I'm trying. Municipal Utility District says, here's the land we're going to build on that we own. We're going to build floodplains. We're going to build sewage and water and everything. And then once the neighborhood is created and houses are being sold either before or after, we will then get bonds issued from the county, the city, the state, however it works, and we will use those bonds for people that are buying the houses to pay us back for building the infrastructure. The MUD, the Municipal Utility District, is busted big time for several things. They had a meeting in the middle of nowhere with nobody present, and they tried to sweep the whole thing and change the whole board according to allegations. They also they did things that were violating possibly Texas law in secret, all sorts of stuff. I'm not surprised. You have a mosque trying to build a Muslim city. Every alarm that's going off in your head is right. Every concern that you have is exactly right and justified, because that's what this is going to be, a Muslim city. Now let me go to some articles, and I'm going to get into Kaufman County and their city, their Islamic city, that may have been stopped. I'm skeptical. I'll tell you why, and I'll give you the news on that. But first, we'll go to Texas Scorecard. Judge freezes utility district tied to Islamic Epic City development. This from, as I said, Texas Scorecard. The case centers on R Municipal Utility District skirting state oversight and standard MUD, Municipal Utility District creation procedures. The state's lawsuit focuses on a 2025 special meeting where the board allegedly resigned en masse, installed new directors at a remote roadside location identified only by GPS coordinates. Are you starting to figure out that this is as bad as it looks? They then quickly voted to annex more than 400 acres tied to the Epic project. Everything about this stinks because it does stink, because it's as bad as you think it is, if not worse, truthfully. State lawyers say the maneuver effectively transformed the MUD into a vehicle for Epic City's backers, allowing them to expand taxing authority and infrastructure support without going through the process of forming a new district. Every single scintilla of this whole development must be watched and stopped at every single chance we can get. What are they hiding? Why are they hiding? Regulators requested documents to confirm the new board members met legal requirements. According to the suit, records submitted by Double R Mud showed the individuals did not meet statutory qualifications. The disputed board members, they were unwinding the 403-acre annexation tied to Epic City. They were told to remove the disputed board of directors. Governor Abbott says the mission here is to stop the spread of radical Islam, which is what this is and what this will be. And am I saying that every person that goes to Epic City Mosque or Epic Mosque is a radical Islamist? No. Am I saying that this is designed just like all the other radical Islamists in Europe, making no-go zones? Yes. Again, why does this mosque want to build a city? And I had some listeners say, well, Chris, I live at an apartment right next to a church. So I said, did the church build the city you were living in? In fact, I say, and I say to you too, and you can comment in the comment section, I'll see it, and I'll be able to respond in real time. Have you ever heard of a Christian church building a city? Can you name me one city in America, whether it's got 1,000, 1,100 homes like they're trying to build for Epic City, or which they now call the Meadows, which is total BS. The Islamic Meadows is what it should be called, the Islamic Meadows. Have you ever heard of a church building a city with 1,100 homes sold to the church members and having a church built at the center and Christian schools and Christian retirement homes and you name it, Christian college, under the auspices of a public college or some sort? I don't know. This is insane. And the other thing I learned from my touring of that neighborhood and being in that at that mosque, there's a hell of a lot of money there. Nothing wrong with people having money. But where's the money coming from? And another person and people have said, follow the money. Who is funding this? Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from people that are wealthy in Islamic nations seeking to spread Islam by planting cities in our country? Now, I hate to sound conspiratorial because I'm not a conspiratorial guy, but that's the kind of stuff we should be asking. This from the Dallas Express today. Frustration in Plano, Epic City public hearing abruptly canceled as property owners pull plug on speakers. Now, because we all went there to speak and speak out and ask questions. But the reason why they canceled the meeting is because Attorney General Ken Paxton got, as I talked about last week, a restraining order against them. But the restraining order is about all this kind of stuff I'm talking about with their skirting regulations, it seems, and seediness and all sorts of stuff. So the question is, Ken Paxton got a TRO, temporary restraining order, but that does not mean, it just gets us till the end of this month, which is another week or so. This does not mean they're stopped by all means. And I'm going to tell you, like I said in my short video that's blown up and gone viral, it's been shared by all these other viral places again. What I'm going to tell you is that these guys are going to make that city no matter what they can, no matter what, whatever they can do, no matter how much money they need, no matter how much time they have to wait us out, to outmaneuver us, to outspend us, they're going to do it. And this is a battle that is not going to be quickly won. This is going to be a long time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort, and a lot of exposing, and a lot of digging. And they're counting on us to peter out, to let go, and to let them do what they want to do. And it cannot be done. Again, name me a church that's built a U.S. city, surrounded that was made for church members and etc. I mean, this is insanity. This is political Islam. This is political Islam like you have in Muslim countries, taking over, building cities, and Islamicizing them, Islamifying them, whatever you want to call it. This from Dallas Express. Officers at the Plano Police Department were told that the public hearing was canceled after the property owner withdrew permission for community members to speak on site, leaving attendees confused and frustrated. Well, I was there. People were confused and frustrated. I'm going to say it again, though. The temporary restraining order literally did make it legally. I'm not making excuses for Islamists, but it did literally make it legally so that they could do almost nothing at that meeting. But they could have still let people speak. But they couldn't have made pretty much any decision whatsoever at that meeting, but they could have let us speak, and they chose not to let us speak. The idea, I think, is to peter it out, to make it go longer, to stall things, to have false meetings, then you pull it, meetings, you pull it, anything you can do. Like they did in Kaufman County at the Islamic city they're trying to build in Kaufman. When we went there, all of a sudden signs were put up, canceled, Meeting was canceled. You can see that in my social media post I did a week and a half ago or so that blew up as well when I went out there. The word assimilate is mentioned in the Dallas Express story about this today. And why is that mosque trying to build a city? Why is this mosque trying to build a city? That is not assimilation. That is the antithesis of assimilation. This mosque building a city in Collin and Hunt counties is not assimilating in any way, shape, or form. It's the antithesis. The last-minute cancellation of Friday's hearing, the Dallas Express says, initiated not by organizers, but by the property owner himself. Interesting. Ken Paxton secured a TRO on Thursday, blocking RR Municipal Utility District. His lawsuit alleges the district was hijacked to skirt state requirements by forming a new municipal utility district, allowing developers to levy taxes and push forward without proper oversight. And the reason why is because the whole thing is seedy, because they're trying to build a Muslim city from that mosque. This TRO is a win for the rule of law, said Paxson. Allowing the RR Mud to meet in this way would have only furthered its illegal scheme to support Epic City. Don't look for this to be the end. This is just the beginning, and we have a long way to go, and the fight is just beginning. And they're not assimilating. Now, supposedly, this is from the Daily Caller. This is a big old exclusive. Supposedly, the Muslim city, Sustainable City USA, quote unquote, the Muslim city, and it would be a Muslim city if it's built, because it is owned by what appear Muslims out of the UAE. They are privately held. They have built 4 or 5 other cities. They have all built them, these sustainable cities. They are all in Middle East countries, Muslim countries, and they all have mosques at the center of the entire city, which is why this absolutely would be a Muslim city in Kaufman County, which is why so many people are passionate about it, and their heads are blown up over it, rightfully so. According to the Daily Caller and their conversation with Republican Representative Lance Gooden, Lance Gooden is telling the Daily Caller tonight that the developers of the Muslim city for Kaufman County have reportedly pulled out, are not doing it. It's canceled. I don't believe it, and I'm not attacking Republican Representative Lance Gooden. I'm not saying he's lying. I don't believe it. I want an announcement on paper from them saying, we are done, we are not doing it. Maybe that's why they canceled it, because the pressure has been put on by people like you and me who went there. I still don't buy it until I see a piece of paper from them saying we are permanently pulling out. There will be no Muslim city in Kaufman County or anywhere in Texas. I don't believe it. Let me share with you what the Daily Caller reported about this exclusively today, March 23rd. The Sharia city, as Ken Paxton called it, the proposed massive sustainable city development was set to accommodate up to 20,000 foreign nationals. A second Muslim city. Up to 20,000 foreign nationals in an unincorporated area of Kaufman County, according to preliminary plans. The developer was C Holding, LLC, a UAE-based privately held global holding group headquartered in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. As a resident in Kaufman County, speaking anonymously to the Daily Caller in February, feared the new community was a ruse to bring around 20,000 Arab residents to rural Texas after seeing construction of the highly contentious Epic City or the Meadows. Yes, and yes, you are right to be concerned. Absolutely. When asked for an update on the planned community, after residents expressed concern about an alleged closed-door meeting March 18th, which is what I went to, and they were supposed to be there, that's 5 days ago, with county officials, community leaders, or I guess a week and a half ago, community leaders and developer, Republican Texas Representative Lance Gooden told the Daily Caller, that the developers decided to withdraw their proposal from Kaufman County. Where is it on paper? Where is it in print? And where is it publicly posted from the developers? And where is their promise to not build it in Texas nor the USA? Maybe they'll go to a blue state. I don't know, but the blue states are already conquered, quote unquote, really. Representative Lance Gooden told the Daily Caller, I spoke with them directly within the past 24 hours and advised them to step back and reconsider this was right whether this was the right time and fit for the property. Gooden told the Daily Caller, following that conversation, I'm pleased to announce they've decided not to move forward in Kaufman County. This matter is resolved. There's no cause for continued concern. Dude, you could not make me more concerned than by saying what you just said, Congressman Gooden. Representative Gooden. The caller has reached out to Ken Paxton, Sea Holding, and county officials. They've heard nothing back so far. As of early Monday afternoon today, Kaufman County Commissioner Terry Crow and Sea Holding had not responded to the Daily Caller's request for comment. Kaufman County Judge Jakey Allen says there was not a closed meeting on March 18th. Well, something was canceled. I don't know what day is what, but there it is. Is it Jakey Allen or Jackie Allen? I don't know. This from Breitbart on this whole Islamic and Muslim issue, the Islamization of Texas. So this is from Breitbart today. One day, it says a Texas Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico pledges to end Trump's so-called Muslim ban. There is no Muslim ban, and Muslims are allowed to travel from places like Indonesia, the largest population of Muslims in the world. Muslims are not banned from coming from Saudi Arabia, for example. They're not banned from coming from UAE, for example. I mean, I can go on and on and on. The countries are Afghanistan, a terrorist haven that Joe Biden let 110,000 people come in from. Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, gee, shocker, Libya, Somalia, gee, shocker, Sudan, and Yemen, where the Houthis are. Of course, these are regular places that should be banned. So, what's his name? James Tallarico said, quote, he wants to stop the fake Muslim ban because he loves Islamists, etc. I believe in the power of prayer, says Tallarico. I believe prayer changes lives, but there's something profoundly cynical in asking God to solve a problem we're not willing to solve ourselves after the terrorist shooting at 6th Street. He blamed not Islamists, not radical Islam. He blamed guns. This is so un-Texan. This guy is a worse candidate than Jasmine Crockett. You betcha. He is a worse candidate. He will lose by more than Jazzy would have lost by. Mark my words. We prayed, he says, and God sent lawmakers with common sense gun safety proposals like universal background checks, red flag laws. In May of 2021, Tallarico wrote on X, Texas has the largest population of Muslims in the country. Today, I introduced legislation to add imams to the list of religious officials who can perform marriage ceremonies in our state. Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Well, certainly, this guy ain't fit for Texas, in addition to wanting to stop us from eating steaks, including stopping the sale and grazing of 2.5 million heads of cattle, which are found at any given time in the Panhandle. This from Marcos Lopez. And by the way, this is huge. He's chiming in with this. Wiley ISD School Board meeting is tomorrow, March 24th at 5:45. I hope it goes viral again. He says he hopes I go viral again. Well, never mind me. Let's talk about the whole meeting and what's going on. There it is. It's tomorrow. I am urging you to join me and so many great people and great patriots because the hiding principal, Tiffany Doolin, who said she loved wearing the hijab, all caps, when she was in school a year ago on World Hijab Day. 1 year later, 4 adult Muslims that are professional proselytizers are allowed on the campus to go in and proselytize to children at Wiley East High School, pass out Qurans, understanding Sharia pamphlets. I thought they didn't support Sharia law. I thought that saying Sharia law was a real thing was fake. We were mocked about that. Nobody's been fired for the adults proselytizing in there. In fact, the Islamization of Wiley ISD is even crazier and longer than I've described. Join us tomorrow to address Wiley ISD on Sharia law and accountability, March 24th, 5:45 p.m. at 951 South Ballard, Wiley, Texas, 75098. I will be there. Join us tomorrow. We're speaking out again. Marco says he'd like me to go viral with my speech again. No promises. No promises. I want to tell you about, I got more too. I got to get into the airports, the illegal alien lady that was arrested in San Francisco. It's so funny what they're saying about her and how wrong they are. And then you're going to hear about a horrible story about the illegal that's accused of murdering a sweetheart girl. It's a freshman at Loyola University, Chicago. And then the rainbow crosswalks, the Black Lives Matter crosswalks are being torn down or stopped or, erased in Dallas, and people are crying and mad. You got to hear them from them personally. But first, let me do this. I want to tell you that IRSprob.com, IRSPROB.com is my CPA. And by the way, I have a big fat stack of taxes to get together so I can get it to Randy in time for tax day. He's been my CPA for over 9 years for my wife's business, for my business. If you have IRS problems, IRSPROB.com is the way to go. You can call Randy as well, my personal friend, longtime friend. We went to church together before he even asked me about sponsoring my show. But he's been helping good people with IRS problems for a long time, including people like you and me. He specializes in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. But you can call him by calling 214-214-3000, 214-214-3000, or just go to IRSPROB.com. That's IRSPROB.com, as Randy likes to say it. Look at him speaking to the Chirin at UT Austin, where he went to college. And got his accountancy degree. That's the best accountancy school in the state of Texas. No surprise that Randy is the man. They invited him back to his alma mater to speak. Now, let me also tell you why I'm wearing this Due West Plumbing and Foundation hat and Due West shirt, because one of my other sponsors is Due West Foundation and Plumbing. Jim Dutton from Texas Home Improvement owns Due West, and it's a multi-generational family-owned business. In fact, Jim's dad passed the business to him, and now Jim is in the process. He's still working, but eventually he's passing it over to his kids, Adam and Johan, who are running the company with him. I know them all. My wife worked at Due West for 3 years. Every single piece of plumbing in this house for 11 years has been done by Jim and Due West Foundation and Plumbing. Every piece of foundation work, including root shields to protect my foundation, has been done from Jim. And before I bought my house, Jim had his company Due West come out, and they tested the plumbing for static. They also tested the foundation and made recommendations. And I've not had to have any repairs. And my house, knock on wood, because I'm coming up, it's going to happen eventually. But my house, every house on this block has been ripped up underneath the foundation for plumbing. I'm 2-3 years later, never happened, because I listen and because I do everything that Jim and his company Due West Foundation Plumbing and Repair does. My 17 feet of plumbing under the house ripped up because of Jim, and he replaced it because it had to be replaced. It was clogging. And then my water heater, it goes on and on and on. Thank you, Jim and Due West. If you want the best, call Due West. That's du-west.com, du-west.com. Plumbing and foundation. Don't use a plumber that doesn't also do foundation. Don't use a foundation that doesn't also do plumbing, or they will blame each other when they mess up, and they will. So go to du-west.com or call 972-406-0912, 972-406-0912, like we have done in my home for a long time, over a decade. Okay, the so-called viral video of an illegal getting busted because ICE is at airports. ICE has been dispatched to Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Houston, Fort Myers, New Orleans, New York, JFK, New York, LaGuardia, Newark, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. I love that ICE has been dispatched to all these airports, and people are terrified. And then comes this video. Of this illegal woman. And she's being cuffed and stuffed at the airport, and liberals are freaking out and screaming. They think, oh, there it is. ICE is going and arresting people. Only this happened the day before ICE was dispatched, and ICE has not been dispatched to SFO, San Francisco International Airport, because San Francisco has no problems. You know why San Francisco has no problems? Because they don't have TSA agents that are unionized there. They have private security guards that are trained and are not unionized with the TSA. They're not TSA. Ain't got no problems. So ICE is there because this woman was being transported, her and her family, and she ran and tried to get away. ICE cuffed her and stuffed her, and then these crazy leftists that are obviously all over San Francisco are freaking out and going after ICE. Watch this. This is great. Watch this.
What's your name? Show the badge. Where's the badge?
Where's your badge?
Can someone call 911?
Okay.
Where's your badge? Can I see? Let me see your badge.
Okay.
No, can I see your badge? I don't know if that's legitimate.
Is this nice?
Can I see your badge number, sir? What is your name? What?
Don't you love the moaning? She's an illegal who had a final order of deportation 7 years ago. Final order of deportation. It's over. You should have been kicked out 7 years ago. You have no options. We caught you. You're illegal. Get out of our country. She's like fake crying, and the liberals are coming out going, like a swan song or whatever you call it. No, not swan song. Like a siren song from, what's that called? A mermaid. Liberals entranced must go to fake wailing of illegal. So let's continue on with this, by the way. Here we go.
What is your name? Where's your badge number?
Oh, mi nombre es illegal woman.
I'm asking for your
Ah!
badge number, sir. What is your badge number?
I am running away from federal authorities. Oh.
What is your badge number? We need to see your badge number.
This is illegal. They're in an airport, a secure airport, trying to load her up on a plane. She runs away. This is great.
Show your badge number. Show us the badge. This is an illegal arrest. Show the badge number.
It's okay. We'll wait.
I need to see your badge number.
Back.
Well, wait. What's your? You need to see your badge number. This is illegal. Why? Because I'm a liberal Karen.
Step back.
I don't know who you are. You could be someone kidnapping her.
Okay, we should call the relief.
I love that line. I don't know who you are. You could be somebody kidnapping her. Oh, you caught me. You got it on tape. Call 911. You got me. We're surrounded by federal officers at an airport. By the way, ICE works at airports. Immigration coming into our country and out. Customs. You think? Customs? I'm coming from another country. I have something with me. Customs, declaring something. And enforcement.
Call the police. When they're pounding on the streets tonight, it's gonna swing back fucking hard. $1 before you go.
This is the face of America. Congratulations. I hope you feel great at night.
So you got all those cops, uniformed cops all around him, badges, guns. You could be kidnapping him. Then why are all the officers on duty at the airport walking with them, escorting them? It's just, they beclown themselves. My buddy Eric Erickson tweeted this out, and it's exactly right, which is why I retweeted it. The message for Republicans is very straightforward. Democrats have shut down airports to open the border and prevent deportations of illegal aliens, of all illegal aliens. That's exactly right. Now, this from Homeland Security about that arrest I just showed you. The ICE officers arrested Angelina Lopez Jimenez and Wendy Godinez Lopez at the San Francisco International Airport. These illegals had a final removal order, a removal from an immigration judge since 2019. While being escorted to the international terminal for processing, it's already over. You're done. We're getting out of here. Lopez Jimenez attempted to flee, another crime, and resisted law enforcement officers, another crime. This from the New York Post today. And by the way, the facts don't matter. Obviously, the left facts do not matter. The woman was part of a family of illegal Guatemalans who've had removal orders since 2019, says the New York Post. A crowd of passengers yelled and booed at them for doing their jobs, rightfully so. Okay, Bush Airport, 4 hours wait. This from a reporter, Rachel Bade. A bunch of Democrat lawmakers said they were downright giddy. A bunch of Democrat lawmakers told this reporter, Rachel Bade, they were downright giddy with the lines at the airport. They think this is good. I mentioned to you on the shows I've been filling in for lately, like I was in Iowa this morning, in Des Moines, Iowa, and Cedar Rapids. I did a little bit of a micro syndication they have over there, filling in for this morning. And on my podcast last week, that people in line for 3 or 4 hours, they don't care. They don't even care about Alex Preddy and Renee Good being shot and killed anymore. They're like, get me on my plane. I don't care about them. I want to get on my plane. you'll find 5% of the people, maybe 10% if you're lucky, that would be like, no, I stand on principle. That's fine. You guys go sit over there. We're getting on a plane. We're leaving. So yeah, nobody wants to wait 2 to 4 hours extra because of Alex Preddy or Renee Good. They don't care. The way they see it, the Democrats, this woman reports today, Trump's move screams desperation by sending ICE, and the White House fears getting blamed. Great, do it, said one senior Democrat official to her. Let's F around and find out. Another predicted the optics would be disastrous for Trump. Quote, armed agents at airports will crush tours and freak people out. Totally false. There were some Karens that took a picture of some paramilitary dressed officers. One of them had a long gun, like an AR-15 or something. And they were like, this is ICE. And the idiots literally said that and put it out on social media. Those were Atlanta police officers protecting the Karens that said they were ICE. These people are just so far gone. A third person couldn't resist telling this reporter, can they please show up in masks to peeve off people more? Nobody cares when you're waiting in line that long. Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut, crazed leftist who lied about serving in Vietnam, says, quote, ICE agents at airports will only aggravate delays in lines, disrupting checks, interrogating travelers, dragging parents from children, detaining citizens, brutalizing families, and shooting and even killing. You gotta love it. Now, this is not funny. This is unbelievable. When this came across my wire this morning when I was filling in Des Moines, Iowa, you have to see this because the story, as you probably have heard by now, is an 18-year-old beautiful freshman at Loyola University in Chicago at 1:30 in the morning was with her friends, young Sheridan Gorman, beautiful young lady. They were walking along the lakefront, just like JB Pritzker did, walking along saying, look, it's peaceful here. There's nothing wrong. Same area they're walking. And an illegal from Venezuela reportedly and allegedly jumps out of the bushes and shoots and kills her by shooting her in the head. But you're not going to believe this. This is the otherworld insanity that you see from the left in cities like Chicago. This older woman who represents this area literally blames the 18-year-old girl. She says that the 18-year-old girl, Sheridan Gorman, that was murdered, scared the illegal into shooting her. That's literally what she says. I wish I was exaggerating.
Well, from what I've been told so far, right, from what police know, from speaking to the students who were with her, it seems she might have, that as they were just out, people go out to the beach all the time, right? And they go out on the pier, they walk around. So the kids were out doing normal things people do in the neighborhood. And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But that's
wrong place, wrong time. So it's totally her fault. She should not have been there. She was at the wrong place at the wrong time. This is all Sheridan Gorman, 18-year-old, her fault. She was at the wrong place at the wrong time. She scared the illegal man into shooting her. It's her fault. She was the aggressor.
Startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But that's all we know. So
probably because she's white too. I mean, if you're an illegal and you're from a Hispanic, you're startled at a white woman. You're startled into shooting her. She shouldn't have been there.
It from what I've been told, what police investigation has turned up so far, what they've been able to share with me and with Loyola University, we don't believe there is cause for broader community concern.
Oh, there is cause for broader community concern. He was arrested once or twice for shoplifting. It's just like Lake and Riley. If the Lake and Riley Act would be applied to this particular situation, then, and I don't know why it wasn't, maybe it's because they're a sanctuary state, but they literally, because they're a sanctuary city and sanctuary state, they busted him for shoplifting. They released him. They didn't hand him off to ICE. They didn't report it to ICE so that he could come out and murder this sweetheart girl, and then she's being blamed for it. I mean, that's obviously it's just beyond disgusting and parody what they're saying. And then you have this from the Chicago Sun-Times backing up the claims. It's always her fault. Look at this. They all say it's her fault. Look at Chicago Sun-Times. Wrong place, wrong time. This illegal was forced into shooting her. She was at the wrong place, wrong time. Look at her. She's so guilty. Chicago Sun-Times. Chicago alderwoman who represents that area. Wrong place, wrong time. That's how you spin this. Not his fault. She startled him. I mean, it's unfreaking believable. The Manhattan Institute's Rafael Mangual says perhaps these politicians can put out a comprehensive list of the places we should avoid and the times we should avoid them so as not to get shot to death by strangers. Yes, tell us where we shouldn't go so we won't get shot and killed. Me included when I go home to visit. Fox News' Bill Malugin saying the Chicago Tribune, not the Sun-Times, which I just showed you, is describing the Venezuelan illegal in custody for murdering Sharon Gorman as a, quote, Rogers Park man. Not an illegal. He's like Maryland man. He's a Rogers Park man. We don't want to say illegal immigrant. So a Rogers Park man was startled as she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was startled into shooting her. Makes sense. That's how they think. That's why laws must be passed that they can't usurp and go around like Lincoln Riley's law. Meantime, you know the little boy with the little 5-year-old boy with the bunny ears in Minneapolis? His dad abandoned him. His mom abandoned him. Dad ran away because ICE was going to cuff him and stuff him for being illegal and in violation and to be deported. He ran, abandoned his child. Then they took the child to the front door, and the mom inside said, no, I'm not letting my child into the house. I disown him. So both parents abandoned him. ICE took care of him like you would your child and my child, like we would take care of somebody else's child. They took him to the fast food place. They got him food. They took care of him, ministered to him. Well, now it turns out that those cute little bunny ears can't stop you from being deported. 5-year-old Liam Ramos and family to be deported. As of today, fake news CNN reports the 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos. The judge ruled against the family's asylum case on February 19th. They just released the information today. The family includes the 5-year-old boy, his father, and his 13-year-old brother, and his pregnant mother, who denied him. Now they're all getting deported, and they're going to get out of here, and that's great. They came illegally under Biden, and they're getting out under Trump. Get out of here. You come back again, it's a felony. Rainbow crosswalk for LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter crosswalks all being removed today, one by one, in the city of Dallas, and I couldn't be happier. This is from WFAA TV Channel 8. I'm going to share some other highlights from their story, but this is two people, an LGBTQ activist and a Black Lives Matter Marxist, godless communist who's against God and his plan for the family and having the two-parent married household with the husband as the head of the household. Here they are complaining, whining, and attacking. This is audio only. This is from WFAA TV Channel 8.
I almost cried. It's horrible. This has been here since I was young. The symbolism of them taking these stripes is horrific to me. It feels like they're trying to take our love and our kindness and our acceptance and our graciousness for others away, and they cannot.
Black Lives Matter crosswalks painted after the death of George Floyd.
Hateful, thoughtless, cruel, ignorant.
Community activist Dr. Pamela Grayson didn't like that the crosswalks were faded and unmaintained by the
hateful. Nah, nah. Well, St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, died from a drug overdose while in the custody of Minneapolis police. And now we can't worship him at this pro-crime, anti-God, anti-family, anti-success, Marxist, corrupt communist group. We can't worship them anymore at the sidewalk. I just got another chime in from somebody else. This is from, I'm going to pronounce this right. Hold on. I got to look real close in my glasses. Millsap man. Good. Must have been forced to do it. Wonder if the state pushed it. They did. Great question. They did. The state made this happen. Governor Greg Abbott and I think Ken Paxton, I don't know which ones are which, but they did. They passed, they said, you're going to, it's political. They said, we're going to move all these crosswalks because they are political. They have nothing to do with pedestrians. They have nothing to do with safety. They are political messages. We will not allow political messages to be put on our public roadways. Rip them out. Get them out. And we're doing that right now. And Millsert Man said thumbs up. Let me continue on. This is the audio from WFA TV Channel 8. Since I can't download the video from their website, I just played the audio for you. Here we go.
City. But she's more angry to see them disappear.
It gave us a little class and diversity, showing us that, looks like somebody gave a darn.
A little class and diversity. It's all South Dallas. All in areas that last time I checked had the highest homicide rate. It's Adam Bazaldua's district in Dallas, South Dallas. Had the highest homicide rate of any district. And what's their solution? To have communist Marxist paintings in the street, worshiping St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, who died from a drug overdose while in the custody of Minneapolis police. That's their solution. Painting a street, not holding dads accountable and saying, marry that woman before you lay with her. And if you do and you have a child, marry her and be responsible, dad. Not demanding discipline in the schools for black children who don't have a daddy and parents that are married and don't care, and giving them discipline. No, what's going to solve things, what's going to stop the incarceration rate is a freaking painting on a street. Black Lives Matter is a corrupt, Marxist political movement. The LGBTQ stuff is a political movement. There is nothing about it that has any validity of being on our public property. Get it out, and that's what they did, and I love it. Let's finish off a little bit more on this. These people complaining and moaning.
Feels violating. Standing here watching them remove.
That's a LGBT lady. It feels violating. She's standing there watching since she felt like she wanted to cry. She's watching them take off the. It feels violating.
Violating. Standing here watching them remove these. It may take them a couple of minutes or this morning to erase these colors off the road, but they're not going to erase us. We're not going anywhere.
What? Get out of here. Anyway, Governor Abbott, this is from Channel 8's coverage that I just played you the audio of. WFA TV Channel 8. Governor Abbott appreciates the municipality's compliance with his directive on roadway safety. Texans expect their tax dollars to enhance roadway safety, not advance political ideologies. That's exactly what this was, and why it's gone. The woke Marxist BLM worshiper, Dr. Pamela Grayson, she has a doctorate in communism, with collective activism in South Dallas. It's just hateful to do that. Just hateful, she said. But the hero in this story, Channel 8 actually did one thing right in this story. The hero in this story is Michael Chu, a black man who lives right in this area where the BLM stuff is on sidewalks. He runs Smokehouse Stack, 2 C's, Smokehouse Stack convenience store at Al Lipscomb Way and South Irvay Street. He believes the money used to paint the crosswalks in front of his store and money for the removal could be better spent elsewhere. He realizes if the whole thing was a joke and never should have been done. Quote, if you want to actually do something to help the community, to this idiot woman, this fake doctor, how much it costs to do that and put it on the ground, put it into a homeless shelter or something, as opposed to just looking at Black Lives Matter on the ground. Sir, you don't understand. The reason they do that is because they're not going to stop anything. They're not going to change. They're not going to call people out and hold people accountable. They're just going to paint something to have people come and worship it. Guilty white liberals come and worship it as they visit during the daytime so they don't come at night and get shot and killed. Fox 4 did a story about this too, and this other woman, this is great. Valerie Jackson, chair of the LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce Foundation, said in reaction to the painted crosswalks being taken down, my personal emotions are grief. They take paint off a sidewalk, this crosswalk, and her personal emotion is grief. My personal emotion, Valerie, is joy. Joy. Yours is grief. Mine is joy. It is interesting that it would take tax dollars to remove this right now. They didn't want to just use tax dollars. Now they're using them to remove these, she said. Yes, never should have been put up. We're correcting the mistake. And yes, we're paying for it gladly. And by the way, if the state wanted to remove them but didn't have the money, I would gladly contribute. Hey, if everybody gives a few bucks, we can get this paint removed. I would gladly contribute to that. Absolutely. And we're taking the rainbow back because the rainbow is God's promise to never flood the earth again after the time of Noah. This is, here's a little more coverage from the Dallas Morning News. I just love to see people moan, wail, and cry. So the state directive says political ideologies, all of them have to be removed from the roadways. That's exactly right. Why are we doing it just now, by the way? Washington, D.C. got rid of them, I think, last year. Remember that? City manager Kimberly Beiser Tolbert asked for an exemption. Yes. She's of course, city manager for Dallas, replacing teaser T.C. Broadnax, who went to Austin. She asked for an exemption. Yeah, here's your exemption. San Antonio removed their. I fill in San Antonio regularly. I'll be on again tomorrow, 10 a.m. on KTSA. It's News Radio 550, KTSA, and FM 107.1. In San Antonio, you can just pull up KTSA online. You'll be able to listen live. 10 a.m. San Antonio removed their main North Avenue rainbow crosswalks in January. I was talking about it. It was happening while I was on the air there. As I said, I'm on the air there a lot. And what has happened since? Because San Antonio did this, as I mentioned, 2 months ago. What has happened since? People are dying in the streets. Why? They don't have painted crosswalks anymore. Get out of here. Let's see. Here's somebody else who said, I was watching it. It just felt like 6 years and a lot of money and effort just down the drain. You damn right it is. The original rainbow crosswalks cost $128,000, funded by community contributions to the LGBT Chamber Foundation. It cost $45,000 to reinstall them last June after they began to fade. And oh no, now they're all gone. Oh, come on. Oh, that's so sad. It feels like we're regressing, says one of the people. Yeah. Yes. Well, if your feelings are based on some painted crosswalks, then you got some real problems. You need some real counselors. Quickly on the plane crash today. That was going on while I was live on the air this morning in Des Moines and Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They you probably have heard this, but the flight attendant, they found one of the flight attendants alive outside the plane, still trapped to her seat. That's why you wear your seatbelt. All the idiots who take their seatbelts off as the plane is touching down, a lot of them got hurt in this horrible accident. Two things. We've all seen the plane nose ripped off, the two co-pilot dead, sadly. But I'm just going to share from Fox News. The former Department of Transportation Inspector General says once the aircraft was cleared to land, it owned that runway. Audio from before the crash suggests confusion between ground control and control tower, with what appeared to have one person handling both roles. There are two parts, control tower, and there's the ground control. These two air traffic control entities are supposed to coordinate with each other, she said. Clearly, they either didn't coordinate or they did and were just wrong. But giving a fire truck clearance to cross the runway after an aircraft has been cleared to run in its final is a clear error. There is just no way around that. She says someone made a very critical mistake in allowing the truck to cross the runway after the aircraft had been cleared to land. A retired air traffic controller, a separate person, this guy says the controller who crossed those vehicles while the airplane was landing just went brain dead for a minute. There's no explanation I can give you that would make any sense why the controller would cross those vehicles, knowing there's a runway and there's an airplane flaring out to land. It's possible one person was directing both air and ground traffic late at night when the airport got less busy. So we'll see. And now a little fun. We always have to have a little fun. Always have to have a little fun. Perhaps this is the best time of the show. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But here we go. This is absolutely unthinkable, unbelievable. Nobody would believe it would happen. But here it is. Look, this headline, I retweeted and said, it's impossible. Watch this headline. From Fox 5 DC, a professional cornhole player with no arms and legs has been accused of murder in Charles County. A professional cornhole player with no arms and legs has been accused of murder in Charles County. Impossible, I tweeted. That's impossible. Now from Fox 5 DC, amputee cornhole player accused of murder. Again, there's no way this is true. Dayton Weber, 27, professional cornhole player accused of fatally shooting 27-year-old Bradrick Michael Wells during an argument in La Plata, Maryland. They say he shot Wells in his car, then drove off with the victim's body before it was found in a yard in Charlotte Hall. He's been arrested and charged. Here's this guy, no arms, no legs, professional cornhole player, which is insane, accused of murder. When you watch this, you might think it actually is possible. Here we go. Watch this. 1 second. All right, watch this. Let me get you a scroll. Okay, I guess he could have done it. Wow. I mean, you'll never see that headline ever again for the rest of your life or anybody else's life. That's insane. So fake, but real, apparently. That was in 2024, loading and firing handgun. And the American Cornhole League has commented. Not Cornholio. Yeah. I'm Cornholio. I need TB for my butthole. No. The American Cornhole League has commented, we're aware of the reports regarding the allegations. It's extremely serious. Our thoughts are with all those impacted, including the family and loved ones of Bradrick Michael Wells. It's an active legal situation. We respect the process, blah, blah. They actually, the American Cornhole Association commented. I think the Ousters should get a comment from Cornholio, on the record. James Tellerico saying more stupid things, which is fun. He's going to lose by a wider margin than Jazzy would have lost by the way. And he says, prison is violence. Prison is violence. Well, then what do you do with violent people? Don't worry about it. Don't put them in prison. Prison is violence. When the left says something is violence, that means you can do violence against it to stop it or them. God is non-binary. Trans community needs abortion care. All these other, abominations and things that nobody in Texas, except for the most leftists, agree with. This guy's going to lose spectacularly. You think he's some kind of a Beto? He's not. RNC spokesperson says the only thing James Tellerico hates more than Texas, a Texas ribeye. The only thing he hates more than Texas ribeye is law and order. Here he is in 2022 saying that prisons are cages, condemning keeping people in cages.
Poverty is violence. Pollution is violence. And yes, prison is violence. Dismantle this system of violence, build something new, something better, something rooted in love. It's hard to imagine a world without prisons, but it's also hard to imagine a world without telegrams and cassette tapes. Just because it's hard to imagine doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Abolish prisons, their violence. Remember that. Poverty is violence, pollution is violence, prison is violence. Violence, when something is violence, then it's appropriate to use violence against it. So, obviously he's a lunatic. I'm not going to act like I'm mad. The guy's crazy, and it's funny to watch him. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Now, this is the perfect video put together by somebody else. It's not me. And this is who James Tellerico is. This is his campaign, and this is who he needs to have warm up at the beginning and the end and during the whole thing when they have events. Watch this. This is so awesome. Watch this.
They, them, energy.
God is non-binary.
Our trans community needs abortion care too.
Something that you love.
I love the trans children who showed up yesterday at the state capitol.
Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
Yeah, baby! Are you feeling it? That was actually Senator Ted Cruz. That's who it was that I got that from. They, them energy. Isn't it the best? They, them energy! It was actually pumping up a little bit. Yes, they, them energy. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That chick needs to get hired by the Tellerico campaign. He's got lots of money that liberals from all over the country, like some of my in-laws, are giving him, and he's still going to lose way more spectacularly and worse than Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the cultural appropriator, lost, and worse than Jazzy Crockett would have lost by. You watch. Guys collapsing in real time. Once the Prey Paxton wins, once that's over, the spotlight goes on him 120 million%. It'll go on Paxton a lot too. He's got some issues. But this guy, is like bankrupt compared to what the average Texan believes. It's great. Let's see here. Dan Patrick names Texas Senate committee picks. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick names his Texas Senate committee picks. He does not pick Taylor Remmett, the Democrat who beat Lee Wamsgans, and he's complaining. After months of having no voice, Dan Patrick chose to silence our district. Blah blah blah. Dude, you're a placeholder. Nobody in their right mind that knows Texas politics believes you're going to win in November. She's going to cream you. You're just holding the seat, and you will have no votes, no nothing. Of course she's not going to give you something. We all know you're going to be gone in November when you get thrown out by Lee Wamsgans. Now, I think I have another funny video here somewhere. Do I? Do I not? No. Wait. Hold on. Let me see what this one is. No, I got that one. Hold on. Okay. Now, I do have this. Florida dad-to-be, 31, shot dead in Bahamas after a bar fight with an off-duty cop while wife is pregnant with first child. What do I tell you? I tell you this every single time anything remotely like this comes up. When you are in another country, you never separate from your spouse. I mean, during the daytime, it's one thing if you're going up and downstairs, whatever. But you never separate from your spouse at a bar in the evening. That's how you die. You end up dead, found on the other side of Cancun, which actually did happen. Wife went upstairs and he stayed at the bar. He was missing, and they found him his body hanging out of on the other side of Cancun, where it's the locals that live there, of an abandoned apartment complex, dead. You don't separate at night, ever. Or say, I'm going upstairs, I'll see you later. You never do that. Number 2, you don't get in arguments or fights with anybody, because you're going to lose, you're going to get killed, you're going to do whatever. This guy is dead because he picked a fight with some guy. Dude, when you're in another country, act like it. When you're in another country, respect the laws and don't mess with people. Oh, I got one more for you. This is great. Airbnb guest faces charges after allegedly damaging rentals with bodily fluids, posting videos online. This woman, a Florida woman, arrest report says she is 31. She filmed acts. She urinated on furniture and other items in 2 Airbnb rental homes in Pensacola. That's like reason 1,151 why I will never, ever rent or stay at an Airbnb or VRBO, ever. I'm so against them. I never want one in my neighborhood. I want one by me. I'm rabidly against them on both sides. Never, never, never will I use one. If I have a problem at a hotel, I can get my money back. I can get moved to another part of the hotel. I can get credited. I can get all sorts of great things. Not at these places. Heck to the no on that. Authorities say $3,000 worth of damage was done by urinating all over all these antique chairs, typewriters, toasters, televisions, and she put it up on like OnlyFans or something. Wow. This show was brought to you by IRSprob.com. That's IRSprob.com, helping good people with IRS problems, specializing in IRS controversy, IRS audits, and tax planning strategies. I will see you at the meeting tomorrow night at Wiley ISD School Board meeting, and I will be all over it tomorrow night on the podcast. You will not want to miss that.